All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the broadcast on. I had some upstream issues, so I ran over to my parents' house and set up as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, when I signed up to go to my YouTube channel and put this out online, it made me join the Hangout. So we just had a bunch of technical difficulties. I did find one of my players so far. I invited him over to this Hangout on air, so hopefully we can find the other two and get everyone rolling pretty quick. I did want to start broadcasting so that people could find us if they're looking, or if the other players are trying to find us. Using the original YouTube event only allowed me to join the Hangout instead of moderate it, so here we are. This is the Dreamchaser game for BrigadeCon, charity and benefit. All right. Gonna send out another invite in case there was a delay. Micah. Eve. David.l.beavers. And Boido. Okay. And here we are. It's unfortunate, you know, technical difficulties do seem to just, you never know when they're going to strike, and you never know how they're going to affect you. Though in the meantime, it is kind of funny. I've taken over my younger brother's room. He would be very upset if he knew I was here. And I say that lightly. We have this collection of DVDs. I'm even working off of a stack of boxes. That's my makeshift setup. Okay, get this back over here. And back. Okay. Don't mind me as I doodle for a minute. Okay, we're not missing any notifications. And let's see. Go to the YouTube page. Hit the broadcast. All right. Go to the YouTube page. Hit the broadcast. All right. Go to the YouTube page. That's pretty funny. You can hear the repeat of my voice from the previous. Okay. That's pretty funny. You can hear the repeat of my voice from the previous. That's pretty funny. You can hear the repeat of my voice from the previous. Okay. Well, if you do find this and you see it before, if you see it, it's Dreamchaser. Let's see. I brought a copy in here. This is the current playtest copy. There's about 5 of them in existence. Unfortunately, the lighting's killing that cover right there. But a goal of the design process was to keep it about under 100 pages. I wanted it to be unintimidating for the uninitiated, for new people, so that when they saw it in this age of not wanting to read or not wanting to, learn how to play something without it being shown to them, that maybe it wouldn't scare them off. There's a lot of pretty pictures. It's all public domain right now because the book itself is, it's a playtest guide. There'll be a more polished layout, and I'm commissioning art to improve the product. I want it to be as good as it can. I'd like it to be a piece of art. So the game itself is kind of a choose your own adventure game in a way that, like in a role-playing game sense, you create what it is that you want to set out to do. So you come up with the goal of the game. Unlike traditional role-playing games, in this case, the game master, me, I don't tell you what the game is. I don't define it for you. I don't say we're going to be in a dungeon crawl, or we're going to be vampires trying to win over the influence battle of the city. I don't dictate what it is that you're playing, what your goals are, and that leaves you the opportunity to follow your own pursuits, to create goals that you actually want to have happen in your role-playing experience. I don't know how many times you may have played before and may have seen come up with backstory or ideas, or something interesting comes up for your character and you want to go down that road but you can't, or the game never gets to it, or the game's storyline doesn't get anywhere near what it is you want to talk about. So I wanted to make a game where people could really explore what it is they wanted to explore. It does make it I want to say improv heavy, but not necessarily. Especially from the game master's point of view, a lot of game masters struggle, or eventually struggle with, what is it that the players want? How do I keep the players together? They struggle with trying to entertain the players. And I think in this way, this framework of being players making their own goals and then making the characters around them, you create player investment. They're more interested in what it is they set out to do. They tie each other. They tie their goals together. So they have, like common ground, and that doesn't change. So it's got a lot of great things going for it. You have to make characters, because if I make your characters for you, I'm removing that part of the process, that creativity. The game itself, it's funny how new age of a game it is, but at the same point, I always think of it, it's a throwback to Gary Gygax. When he made, the first D&D games, he really thought, people aren't going to need more than the original game. They're going to make their own stuff. So I think somewhere along the way we lost a lot of that creativity. You know, we're very comfortable with working what we're provided with. You know, entertain me, put this in front of me. I want to, you know, show watching TV, watching movies, playing video games. So I think that it should be refreshing to have more input, creative control, more of a collaboration, a design process, if you will. Well, obviously at this point, it doesn't look very good that we're going to have a game. I obviously made it too hard for the players to get started, which I've been there before. It's not ideal. It's unfortunate. I hate to have done that to people. I didn't mean to. It just kind of how that happens sometimes. You know, internet issues, you can't necessarily predict them, and you can just do the best you can. I did get to talk to Micah for a minute. I wish I would have taken the chance to talk to him about the game. And David and Rodrigo, hopefully we get another chance to play or talk about it. And hopefully this isn't the only impression you get of the game. So, yeah. We'll give it another 10 minutes and see if we find anyone else. I'm going to go ahead and take a minute and check back on the different ways that they could be talking to me. So give me a minute. And checking the email. Check in Google Plus. Okay, check the YouTube page. YouTube. My channel. Check the YouTube page. YouTube. The Facebook group. My channel. Sounds like a good idea, Mr. BrigadeCon. If that's you, Andre, you are always awesome. Facebook group. My channel. Sounds like a good idea, Mr. BrigadeCon. If that's you, Andre, you are always awesome. All right, pause that. I paused my own thing. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's bad news that Micah, you didn't get it. Here, I'll send it. I'll just put it in the chat thing at this point. It's not that big of a deal. That means the other guys didn't get it the second and third time either. Okay. Invite people. Close. YouTube page. Yeah, thanks, Andre. Unfortunately, I had some technical issues, and you know, I ran over to another house I could get to set up. My upload speeds were just next to nothing. So I set up. It was a few minutes after, but by the time I got into the Hangout on Air and actually was streaming it, it was 15, 20 minutes after. I had Micah, but the other guys I couldn't find them, but. You can't blame them. That just at that point, if people fall off or if they just couldn't find the link, it happens.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Micah. Thanks for sticking with me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, pause that. Okay, It's pretty funny though. I have the YouTube page on, like another window or whatever, and I have a horrible pause. Okay. It's always funny when you're looking at yourself talking.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So I went on a little spiel while you were gone to nobody in case I kept it, broadcast it later. But so while you're here, I might as well talk to you about the game. The game is kind of a choose your own adventure game in the way of role playing. Battery. It's no longer did I wanted to provide a game that wasn't just you playing what a game master put in front of you. Something where you had more creative control. And I don't know if you've ever been a player that wanted to had a side story, a backstory, something that came up in game that you wanted to get to, like a cool character goal, and you just never got to it. So this game,
all the time, dude.
This game is meant for. It's not the GM's game. It's your game, and the GM just kind of has to help guide and navigate it. All right. I do have to thank my brother. He did put in an excellent sofa. Gave me something nice to sit on. Okay. So what are some of your favorite games?
Well, let's see here.
Put you on the spot.
I'm a big fan of World of Darkness.
Awesome.
Let's see, and Numenera. Those are like my two big games that I am absolutely infatuated with. But played a few. I've played Call of Cthulhu. I've played D&D, Pathfinder. I've played the original Star Trek role-playing game. That was actually the first role-playing game I ever played.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Was it a good experience?
I was running it actually.
Oh, okay, so it was probably pretty good then.
Oh
no, was it a nightmare?
I had a group of very tolerant, very patient players. Let's just put it that way.
Sure.
And because of that, I think it was fun. But I remember I played things very close to the rules, and the rules specifically for space combat weren't well written. I think it was more something that you needed to improv, and based on the way the rules were written, the space combat that I ran ended up lasting like 3 hours.
Oh no, yeah.
Yes, and it shouldn't have lasted that long. It was a very small ship versus a very big ship. And somehow and we were in the big ship, and they just kept holding us off. So.
Yeah, was it a matter of you just couldn't pierce the other ship's armor kind of thing? They just kept stalling the combat?
I'm trying to think,
Sure. Way back when.
If you hit the ship, you had to roll 1d10. And each ship had a hull rating. And just the amount of weapon damage that you did from the different photon torpedoes and beam weapons just really didn't do anything. So I guess the ship just had too much health. So
it happens in a lot of games, just whatever the armor rules are, a lot of times it can just kind of stall combat. And I can imagine with the ships, a lot of times when there's armored vehicles like Savage Worlds and stuff, just a lot of games it can really be I attack, I hit, oh, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. It's some of the things in Numenera are definitely like that. I remember in a game I was running, the players, their horse mule thing ran off into the woods, and they went chasing off after it, only to find that it had been killed and was being eaten by a sectopod, which is like this giant black centipede. So they proceeded to try and attack it. And at this point, I realized that the sectopod had like 5 armor, and the players could only do like 4 damage.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So at that point, I was just kind of like, just had to make some like minute adjustments so they could kill this thing. And then it was super easy. Like, this was supposed to be a hard creature, but I adjusted it and they killed it in like a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So
I was running a Burning Wheel game. It's been kind of ongoing, but we had a meeting where I threw this giant spider at them, and I was like, for sure, this is going to be a tough creature. And yeah, the first guy just like one-shots it. Just massive amounts of damage, blows through the armor. So then I'm like, okay, well, there are 2 more up there. I'll just, we'll throw a couple more at them. And I'm not usually the guy, but we're also kind of learning the rules. So I didn't want other players not to get to do anything. So I threw the other 2, and it was like, first guy mows down the first one. Second guy mows down the second one. So it was kind of ridiculous, but hey there, how's it going?
Hi there. Andre has just sent me links to. I hear that you're short of a player, and I'd be happy to. I've never played, and I've no idea what the game is, but I'm just reading at the moment. But yeah. I'd be happy to join if that's okay.
I would be happy to have you.
Great. My name is Caius.
Hi, Caius. I'm Pete, and we got Micah over here.
Hey, Caius.
Hi, Mike.
Mr. BrigadeCon.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, listen, Caius is an amazing player, dude. You're going to have a blast. I'm telling you right now. I got another 2 people coming. When that's done, you should have a full house and just kick it, okay? I would start playing now if you want, and as players join, just add them into the storyline, and then you should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Because yes, I've got another game at in 2 hours and a bit, so or 3 hours and a bit. So
good. 3 hours.
All right. So you guys are all set, and I'm gonna see if I can find you at least 1 or 2 more players, and I'll be back.
Shoot for 1.
Shoot for 1.
Yeah, shoot for 1 tops.
Okay,
especially because we're getting a late start.
That's fine. No problem. I'll shoot for 1 more. Have fun, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
All right, Caius, Micah. Let's kind of get started so we can at least get rolling. Okay, first thing we need. Now, one of the things with this game, so Caius, because you're brand new, the basic premise of the game, if you're trying to fix this lighting, sorry. I'm in a different room than normal, so the lighting is changing, and I'll fix the environment as we go. Dreamchaser is a game designed as kind of a choose-your-own-adventure role-playing game. It starts off with the players creating what it is they want to set out to do. They create a goal. In this case, the dream. It can be something personal, like we want to be a rock band. It can be something epic. We want to shut down the financial markets, save the princess from, the evil council, anything you want. And it doesn't have to, usually it implies a setting, but it doesn't have to imply a setting. And then we make the characters around that, and then we make the setting just kind of starts to unravel. It becomes a thing as we start to kind of piece together what the game is. Usually what happens is we usually spend about 15 minutes making what it is like our goal. In this case, if we have 2 people, it'll probably take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We do make characters. That usually does take up to about 30 minutes. And then we get started. You guys, in a way of how the game is designed, will create the end goal. And then in this case, probably one thing a player that you want to see happen along the way. This could be something that you just want to see or experience as a player, or it could be something that you think is necessary for your character to get from here to the goal. Like, you know, if you were going to be King Arthur, maybe you need to pull the sword from the stone. Maybe you need to buy the round table, or you need to amass the group of knights. And these would all be, you know, whatever you think would be a cool experience for you as a player.
Question.
Yeah.
So does every player have their own goal, or is it like the group has a single goal?
The group has a single goal, which is like the end goal, the dream. And then the pieces, you're each going to have a personal goal, and that'll be something that kind of works towards the grand goal. Does that make sense?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
So the first thing we want to do is we want to decide what the grand goal is. Now, you want to make sure it's something that's kind of fun and satisfying, not only for you, but obviously the other players. So usually how we do that is we have each of you just kind of pitch an idea. Now, a goal is usually something like a few words. It can be specific, but it doesn't have to be. It could be like close the rift, you know, open a portal, go to another planet, because it kind of gets further defined as you begin building more of your character and what you're going for. So think about that a second. If you have any questions, you can ask, and I'm going to try to fix the lighting.
well, I already have. I suppose this could be a group goal, but I think this is more of a personal goal. But I would like my character to be interested in putting, in honor of Halloween, I would like my character to be interested in putting his sister's ghost to rest.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so think of it, and that's a perfect way to pitch something too.
Mm-hmm.
Like by throwing that out there, you're already starting to make Caius think of things, starting to give him ideas, giving me ideas. So he could go in a total different direction with what you said, but now he might be like, oh, what other ghost stories could there be? Is it a ghost story? Maybe it's a zombie story. Maybe it's a murder story, you know? Caius, does anything come to your mind?
Before I heard this, and I think it can tie in, but I haven't worked out how, I was just thinking along the lines of someone is infertile, and I'd like them, and they desperately want a baby.
Okay. All right. So we got.
And that could.
Micah, what did you say?
Put my sister's ghost to rest.
Okay. I'm just going to jot these down. Ghost to rest. And Caius, go ahead and just rephrase that for me.
To lift the curse a woman has, that she'll never have a baby. She'll never have the baby she wants.
Oh, okay. Baby she wants.
But I mean, I'm quite willing to drop that and move into the ghost, or just I was just wondering if they tie in somehow.
Sure. So the first thing is that now that you both pitched an idea, you both look at each other and go, all right, hey, I really like that one. Or you're like, hey, we both like these, and we flip the coin. You know, so talk amongst each other about maybe what you think's cool, or if you're pretty sure, like Caius, if you just want to say the other one's good, you can do that.
Any ideas on why your sister's ghost is restless?
Now, you don't have to come up with any ideas right now. Yeah. Don't feel that you have to. But if it wants to talk to you in a way of like figuring out which one's cool, yeah.
Or would you prefer to? I'm quite willing to go along with. I like the restless sister.
Okay, cool.
Now, the other thing is that would be your dream, okay? So the dream, as of right now, is put sister's ghost to rest. Now, you're each going to have a personal milestone for your character along the way. Something from point A to point B that you want to see or play as a player or have happen to your character. Now, Caius, if you want to, what you had for your dream, it's very common that someone else's dream gets kind of tied in a way to, as a milestone to the dream. So if you wanted to say that, you know, you're going to have to lift someone's curse, like it could be the sister's ghost that has a curse. It could be the sister that had a curse, and maybe that's why there's going to be a ghost. You know, it could be a lot of things.
Yeah, I'll go with the lifting the curse one. That was my sort of one of my first ideas anyway. So
okay, so we now know that there's going to be a curse involved, that Caius wants to, his character has a drive to lift for some reason. We're going to keep developing that. Micah, what else do you want to see or have happen along the way of putting your sister's ghost to rest?
I would like my character to have a chance to say goodbye.
Nice.
Because I was in another... Is it okay to go into further detail?
Of course, yeah.
I was in
That's
another...
like a milestone, but yeah, if you want to flesh that out, or especially if you want to explain it to me, then I know better of how to make it happen. So
I was in another state when she died.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you both a character sheet. It's editable if you want to edit it, or of course you can print it out and fill it out if you want to. I haven't tried printing out the editable ones, so you know if that's an issue, I can give you a blank one that's not editable. Let me throw that up here. And again, I get to look at the YouTube page with my ridiculous half-closed eyes. Let's see. Okay. I'm a little hard-pressed. Usually I have 2 monitors, so right now I'm really weirded out that I only have 1 to work with. Okay. Sheets. I can upload that while I just hand you guys this. Okay. BrigadeCon. Select. Okay. In the chat on the side, you'll find the character sheet. Download a copy and, you know, fill her out. You will see at the top, the reason I'm giving it to you now is at the top, the first thing it's going to ask you is what's the dream? And then it's going to start saying, well, what are the personal milestones? Let me know when you both have it pulled up, and then I'll go ahead and screen share so I can kind of point you where I'm talking about.
It says I need permission.
Yep, me too.
Okay. File Explorer. Google Drive. BrigadeCon. Share. Micah.
In the Facebook chat, there's somebody else wanting to join.
Okay.
Boiko or something.
And then Caius, what's your email? Or are you on Google Plus?
I'm on Google Plus.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi.
And who do we got there? Boiko. Hi, Boiko. Okay. And Caius, what is your Google Plus handle? Or if you want your associated email with your Google Plus?
Caius of Glantry, gmail.com.
Okay. Can you put that in the chat?
Oh, okay.
Make that a little easier for me to type out.
Okay. I'm going to turn off my camera.
Okay.
So, probably going to run out smoother.
Okay, good. Thank you, Caius.
You're welcome, Pete.
Okay. Self-Calantry. Caius. There he is.
Let me just. Oh, actually, let me go to. If you're sending a message, let's go to.
Okay. I shared the folder with the two of you, and I'm hoping that that allows you to have. Let me see if I can get shareable link. Let's see.
Yep, I got it.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and throw the other quick documents in there then so that we don't have this trouble in the future. And okay,
wait. What's happening right now?
give me just 1 second. I'll get you caught up to speed.
Okay.
Sorry, that I don't mean to leave you in the dark. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Want to finish the one thing I'm doing for them so that I don't leave them. I don't leave anyone hanging. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna put this all in here, and we'll make a little folder in here so it's not all over the place. Sheets. In there. Controls in there. Dealing damage in there. Mapping in there. Milestone rewards in there. And visualization in there. Okay. Okay. And okay, Boiko. Is that a good name to call you? Do you prefer Boiko or?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Boiko,
so you're Pete.
I am.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm Micah. Nice to meet you, Boiko.
Yeah.
And
Nice
I'm
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And I'm Caius.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so Boiko, what we're doing is the game in a nutshell is called Dreamchaser. It's a game designed as kind of a choose your own adventure game. The players as a group pick out what it is they want to go do. We don't start with the setting. We don't start with classes or professions. You know, it starts with what's the goal, and we try to make it a game about what you want as a group. Like, what do we want to sit down and do today, or what do we want to sit out and work on for the next several meetings or something? So the goal, usually we would all be in the process, but we're starting to lose a little time. So I'm going to go ahead and have you kind of jump into what's already been created. The goal so far is we're going to try to make a story about putting somebody's sister's ghost to rest. So the dream goal, the dream or the goal of the game is that the three of your characters will be tied in some way of trying to put someone's sister's ghost to rest. I'm sure one of you will be the person whose sister it is, but probably not, you know, who knows?
Could be siblings.
Yeah, you could all be siblings, yeah. Now, the second thing we do is once we have our goal, we each have our own personal goals that we want to see either happen or we want to have happen along the way. Think of it like a movie. A movie always starts at point A and has to get to the end, but you know, sometimes the characters aren't ready to have the climax situation. Like, you know, Rocky has to learn how to he has to get in better shape, or has to like rebuild his mental toughness. You know, a lot of characters, you know, they're a peasant at the beginning and they have to go through training, and then they become a knight and they get the respect, or, you know, they have to go find the right people before they can challenge the dragon. The only twist on what it is that has to happen along the way is you as a player also want to make sure it's something that you want to experience.
Okay.
Like, don't pick something that you're like is super boring. You know, like, hey, we're gonna find the cure for cancer. So what my milestone's gonna be, I'm gonna work like a slave 8 hours a day for 40 years to make it happen. Nobody wants to play that game. I mean, we can do that in the background, but if you make that your milestone, I'm gonna try to make you have that experience. That's just gonna suck. You know? So what you want to do is, we know Caius added that to put the sister's ghost to rest, we have to lift a curse.
Okay.
And then Micah said that he wants a chance to say goodbye because he was in another state at the time. So you just want to think of something that sounds interesting to you that you want to have happen along the way to putting someone's sister's ghost to rest. And while you do that, can you tell me your email so that I can send you the character sheet?
I can put it in the
Put
group
it in
chat.
the chat. Just
Okay.
on the side.
Okay. Yeah. And send. I'm thinking about why is the sister's spirit restless or restless? Is it because maybe she's haunting the place where she died? Maybe it's like it's now a haunted house, or like maybe it has been a house with a history, like built on Indian burial ground or something like that. And maybe it has a history of like other people who have lived there and have died in violent ways, and so maybe we did you did say that we are trying to lift a curse.
Yeah, that's all. We know that there's going to be a curse that needs to be lifted along the way.
Okay, so
everything you said was awesome. Just try to make it a few words of what you like about it. Like if you wanted to, like you said, maybe we have to put sister's ghost to rest. Like you said, maybe there's some reason that she's a ghost. Maybe the ghost is in a haunted house, like you mentioned. Any of these things are great. Just try to pick one of them and put it in a few words.
Can you tell me the other things that everybody had said?
Yeah.
Like
I'll put it in the chat.
So sister's goes lift the curse, and so maybe the thing that I would want to do is maybe reveal some mystery, like some history connected with the house that the sister's ghost is haunting in the moment. So yeah, in a few short words, solve a mystery that would maybe release the spirits that hold the house. Does that sound good?
Yes.
So learn the house's secret.
Yeah.
Thank you, Micah.
Yeah, nice one.
Boiko. Learn the houses. What was it? Now we said it's like a haunted house, right?
Yeah.
Learn haunted house's secret.
Or maybe it might be even like a haunted object or something. Like something that has passed from family to family, and or either house. But I for instance, I could play like a paranormal investigator or something like that. The family has hired me, and I have researched the history of like the place or the haunted object.
It sounds perfect. And what you've actually done, which is fantastic, is you've already kind of like showcased exactly what's going on right now. Is that somebody came up with like one sentence of what it is we want to do, and then everyone's imagination starts to run wild. And in your case, you're already thinking like who I'm going to be and why I'm going to be it, because I got the thing that I'm going to have to do so that we can get to the story. Your brain puts this stuff together. So you're already on top of it. Go ahead and check your email and make sure you got the link for the character sheet.
Okay.
So the next thing we want to do, Caius and Micah, did you get the character sheet?
Yep.
I did, yeah.
Are you both using the editable? Is it working okay?
I've just printed one out and I'm using that.
Okay, that's my style. So go ahead.
It doesn't seem to be working for me, the editable one.
Oh, geez. I wonder if it's like locked for you or something. If you download it and then open it separately, is that what you did?
Oh, no, I haven't downloaded it.
Yeah, probably download it and then open it separately.
Ooh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it's working.
It just probably doesn't want to do it inside of Google.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the top you have that dream line. So in the chat I put the dream, put Sisters Ghost to Rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then to the left of that, just below it, it says Milestones.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of you created one of them. We're now going to put them in order. And it's going to be our roadmap to the dream.
Oh.
Okay? So we have Caius's milestone of lifting a curse, Micah's milestone of chance to say goodbye, and Boiko's of learn the haunted house or object secret. Which one of those three things sounds like it should happen first?
Well, I think that mine is kind of prerequisite for the lift the curse, and maybe the like the say goodbye could be like the part of the climax of the story.
Third.
I like it. Caius, what you think?
I'm thinking the same. Basically, learn the secret, lift the curse, say goodbye.
Micah?
Sounds perfect.
We got a plan. So I gave you each room for one or two. Just put yours for now. I should have left it so that you had room to put all three. We have a separate sheet that you saw in the folder called the dream map. Normally what we would do is we would have this sort of sheet on the paper and that we could all look at. They would say the dream and then the order of each of these milestones. So we kind of have a roadmap on the table of where we're going and how we're getting there. To save a little time, I'm just not going to have us fill it out. But.
Okay, it's only 3 milestones right now, so.
Yeah. Now, one of the things with the game is that, generally speaking, depending on how long you have, if you have a dedicated group, the game is really meant for campaign play, in which case you could have, like 5 a person, so that each one of these could be a game session, or some of them will kind of group up into like one more epic game session. But it's cool as the game master because it kind of gives you a lot of fuel for plot hooks, adventure hooks, where we're going, what kind of story the players want, so they have more investment. So there's a lot of cool things it does. Boiko, did you find the character sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and print it out if you want to, or if you want to download it, you can use it editable. And then at the top, there's the dream part. Go ahead and write dream as in the chat. Write your milestone. The milestones are also when you guys kind of like, if you want to say you level, that's when you get experience. Really what all that means is that's when you get to upgrade your character. So you're also defining what moments are when you want to be rewarded as a player. Okay. Now, if you look at the character sheet, under each section, it should say step, and it says like step 1, step 2, step 3. These are guidelines for you to build your character. Some of you might find that relatively easy, but I'll try to walk you through it as we go. for that, I'm going to pull out a character info. The next thing, if we're all on the same page, everyone got their dream and milestones down?
Yep.
Yep.
What do we put for dream?
That
Like,
is, put Sister's ghost to rest.
Okay. Oh. Right.
Now for Micah and Caius, you can move on to picking a soul. If you go back to the shared folder, here, I'll go ahead and hopefully I can share the folder now and it'll work. There, I added another folder inside, and inside that there is a character creation packet. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat. Hopefully that works. The first 5 pages of the character creation document has pictures on each, and these are the different souls. Souls are kind of like if you had a person inside of you who sometimes shines out through your personality and who you are, that would be what a soul is. They range from, we have like the artisan, who is kind of like a person who's internally a craftsman, an artist, a builder, somebody who like adds beauty to the world. We have a martyr. Martyrs are like servants. They're people of a cause. You know, they're not about themselves. They're eternally about whatever is bigger and more important than themselves. You have the pioneers. Pioneers, you know, they explore new ground. They physically push the bounds of, you know, our existence, of where we live, of where we go, of what we eat. The warrior is obviously like your typical warrior, soldier, athletes, but they're really focused on competition. Everything's a competition. Everything's a challenge. We have the visionary, which is a lot like the pioneer, except for you're much more mental. You know, you're not necessarily the leader from the front. You're more the leader from the back. You come up with the big ideas and you start putting it together because you can kind of see the big picture. And then there's the wise man, which is kind of like your Sherlock Holmes or Socrates. The wise man is that person who thinks about thinking. None of these define your character, but they kind of give you a foothold of what kind of potential your character has. I generally recommend you just pick whichever one sounds cool.
Do we pick just one?
You pick just one.
Okay.
The 2 things that they have on the sheets, if you look at them, is there's a part that's going to talk about their visions. In this game, you envision things. A lot of the things in this game are about visualizing things. You know, visualizing what you're about to do, visualizing what you think will happen. So some of them have little aspects that help in their little visions. And they all have these tags, which are like descriptors of the character. And you can use these to kind of benefit your roles when you try to do stuff. So they all have 10 each. So there's going to be stuff in each one of them that works for you, but you might find one that, you know, has more things that work for what you're going for. The paranormal investigator, like you might be a pioneer, and if you think you're the guy who's going to like walk down the halls and like investigate, you know, the doorways, not the guy who's coming in after it's been cleared, then, you know, the pioneer obviously has more things for you.
I was thinking more of a martyr, because I think my is somebody who does what he does because he's the only one who can help people often.
Awesome.
When they're being terrorized by something unknown that nobody would believe them about.
I'll take pioneer.
Awesome. Okay. And like I said, you clearly can't pick a bad one. They're really broad.
Is each role locked to each player? Or
No.
could you have like 2 pioneers in the group?
No, you definitely could. Usually
Okay.
you don't, but you could. And it really wouldn't hurt a lot. It's just the vision benefits would be duplicate. But you know, honestly, a lot of times the vision benefits don't really come into play. So
I'll go a warrior. Warrior.
Okay. So what I would recommend is those tags at the bottom that say, you know, they're just the soul tags. There's 10 words, like the artisan says, creative, steadfast, practical, obsessive, those words. I would probably jot them down either on a notepad, piece of paper, note cards in front of you. On the character sheet, you could write it under soul. It says, like, you know, write these things when you use them, but you might find it easier to cross them off when you use them. Up to you. This is a game where usually we would have note cards on the table for some things that kind of happen, like more temporary things. So figure out what works for you to have something where you'll remember, but you know, it's not permanent. So these are souls. Now, Micah, you mentioned roles. Roles are not something that have to be defined, but they definitely help when we're building this whole game. So like, Boiko, you imagine building a character that's a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
That would be like your concept, your character concept, or like a role. So above your milestones, you could write, my role is paranormal investigator. Caius, do you have any sort of an idea of like a character concept, like in a word or two, like sibling, priest, twin brother, you know, haunted soul, you know, what?
Jock brother.
Awesome. And then Micah, think about one for you too.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing this stuff down.
Yeah, no problem. And then in the meantime, Boiko and Caius, we can move on to soul skills. Now we're getting into all the nitty-gritty mechanics. I promise it'll be pretty painless. Everything in the game is on a 1 to 10 scale. I did that on purpose. I want everything to be really relatable. Everyone can understand a 1 to 10 scale if you went through grade school. You know, we rate everything in this world on percentiles. So 1 to 10 simplifies a scale that we have a pretty good idea of, you know, how good you are on a scale of 1 to 10. So in this game, you're always going to roll under or equal to for a success. You're always going to roll 2 dice, kind of like, do we have any Apocalypse World players? Okay. You're going to always roll 2 dice, and they don't add or subtract. They work separate from one another. You could succeed on one die and fail on the other. You could fail on both dice. You could succeed on both dice. This gives us a whole bunch of different outcomes of what happens. You know, if you get 2 successes, you fully got what you wanted. You fully succeeded. You do optimal results. If you double fail, which you rolled over your statistics that you were going to have, you are not going to have what you want. It's not going to be a stall. Something bad is going to happen, or something new, a new issue is going to arise. And if you get a mixed result, you're going to get what you want, but at a cost. Something else happened. Like you picked the lock, but you broke your picks. You got the woman out of the fiery, the fiery building, but you were burned. You could go on and on and on. So the idea is that with every die roll, we actually get something worthy of progressing the story, not just, menial results. How this relates to you is that, generally speaking, you're going to roll 1 die for a soul skill and 1 die for a skill. So the soul skills are really important. They're involved in almost every roll. They're on a 1 to 10 scale, and you have 10 points to split between 2 of them.
Okay.
So the 2 soul skills are imagine and reason. You could have 2 5s, which would make you above average in both. You could split it into 3 and 7 or 4 and 6 or any combination. How they work is if you're doing something premeditated, something that's well-trained, that's planned, that's going to be a reason sort of thing. If it's something more instinctual, more reactionary, more just cause, like it just happened in reaction to something, that's a more imagined thing. So think of like brainstorming is imagine, studying is reason. Planning is reason, walking into a completely unknown situation and just winging it is imagine.
Wait, how does this sheet work? Because when I put in something for in the first column next to imagine, and it automatically fills it fills the same thing for.
What did it put in there?
I for instance, if I write in 4 for imagine in the the first box where it says it fills in the same thing for reason.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't understand how this sheet works.
You know, well, it's probably a poor design on my part. Is probably what happened.
Oh yeah.
So blame the designer right there.
Oh okay.
Yeah. So that's a big problem. So see what you can do to work around it. That's probably, if that is an issue, it's going to happen all over the place. And I'm sorry.
And it also fills it in for all the attributes.
Yeah, because I copy and pasted a lot of boxes, and it's going to be more.
Yeah.
So I apologize. If you can print out the sheet, it might be easier, or figure out whatever works for you, man. Sorry.
So what's the difference between imagine and reason again?
Sure. Conceptually, this is weird. Like it's definitely a different thing. Everything you do in this game is kind of a visualized action. Like, hey, I plan to do this, and then we're going to roll and see what actually happens. So you're either imagining what you're going to do or you're reasoning what you're going to do. The difference is reason is something planned, premeditated, thought through, studied, trained. And imagine is kind of everything else: reaction, instinctual, just cause, random chance. You know, but if you're doing stuff like brainstorming, you're coming up with things, you know. I don't know how to fight, and I punch this guy. You know, like this kind of stuff. Never shot a gun before, and I'm going to.
What's the worst that can happen?
You mean from yeah, exactly, yeah, that kind of personality too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you explain it, you kind of make it sound really bad, but I'm probably a person that's very high on the imagine scale myself. So yeah, take 10 points. You know, nothing wrong with doing 5 and 5, but you know, some people naturally gravitate towards 4 and 6 or 3 and 7. If you do you know greater than that, you're probably going to hamstring yourself some. Mechanically speaking, a lot of times if I push something on you, you're going to be imagining it, because you know. But if you're being proactive and doing a lot of things on your own, a lot of times that does end up being reason, unless you creatively make it imagine. You know. The next thing is the 3 physical attributes are mind, body, and spirit. These kind of work like Numenera. They're kind of your hit points. You could be defeated by being outsmarted, by being, you know, scared or talked down, punked, or, you know, physically beat up. And so can pretty much everything else. Whatever makes sense is how you can make things happen. So the points you put in these, for the most part, work as your hit points. Okay. So if you have a low mind, and someone picks up on that, they can use that against you. You know, they can, instead of trying to fight you, they're going to try to outsmart you. If you're low of spirit, they're going to try to punk you out, make you go the other way, think that you can't succeed. And of course, you know, if you're weak, they might bully you. and vice versa with you against anything else. It's a way to kind of mechanically make it so that everything is in a fight in a physical sense, to equally give justice to, across the board. So you have 15 points for those three things. Again, you could have 5, 5, and 5, or, tweak them up. Sometimes I tell people we could do 4, 5, and 6 if they have trouble, because you can usually think of, hey, what do I want to be good at? What do I want to be okay at? What do I want to be bad at? But even 4 is pretty good.
So I have a concept for my character.
Awesome.
But I'm like slightly hesitant about it because I'm not sure how well it's going to fit into the kind of like modern theme we have going.
Okay.
But my character is a grave robber.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also the sister to the brother and the person who died.
Okay. That's great. Now, the best part is you need to think about, do they know you're a grave robber? Because that's a great story. It's a great story both ways. Because, Caius might hold it against you or, chide you the whole game. Or you might be a big reveal at the end. Maybe that's why she's cursed or something. I don't know.
It could be a big tie-in with.
What do you think, Caius?
I think go for it, but I think my jock brother would be a sort of he's probably difficult. He's probably not an easy brother, so I'd probably imagine you keeping it secret from him, because as I imagine it, I'd have high standards and be always sort of pushing people. I'm very competitive and hard on myself and hard on others. Would that work? A difficult family relationship? I mean, I can change. I'm always. But
no, I like it. I'm thinking like,
could you work with that?
What if you knew? Mm-hmm. And that was the reason our characters are so distant. Like our characters haven't spoken in several years because of this, because of our differences, and it's only the death of our sibling that's kind of brought us back together.
Okay. Yep.
Now that's fun. That's fun.
So why is he doing this? Like, is he doing it just for the thrill, or like
which one?
Boiko, who are you asking about?
About the grave robbing.
Okay.
About
the grave robbing sister.
Yeah. Why do you rob graves? or shall we work that out as we go along?
Yeah, and you don't have to struggle with it right now. You can come up with it later. It may even come up organically.
Okay, sure.
All right, so once each of you have your mind, body, and spirit in, have I left anyone behind, or are we all kind of there?
Go over mind, body, and spirit again, sorry.
Sure. They're really your hit points.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Happened. And just split them 3 ways. Yeah.
Mind's mental, spirit is morale or personality, conversational, and your body is pretty obvious, physicality. You guys did a really good job with your roles. I love it. I like that, grave robber, jock brother, paranormal investigator. Like, we didn't get 1 word, we got 2, which really made a good combinations of who you are. Okay, and then next thing is you have a belief score and you have a wealth score. The belief starts at 4, the wealth starts at 1. And then we move on to skills.
What does belief do?
Belief is the easiest way to put it is it's almost like the sort of campaign play mechanic. Like, if we played prolonged, every time you hit a milestone, your belief has the possibility to go up. As your belief goes up,
Okay.
there's a list of things that you can use it for, and they're kind of like creative control elements. If you want to, in the quick folder I shared, I'll share it again. There's a document called, I don't remember what I called it.
The benefits of belief.
Yeah.
Tag, hope.
It's in Creative Controls PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is like your belief starts at 4, which is average. And at 4, you could buy an automatic success. You could change a part of a vision. But if you let this build, and as the game progresses, your character is going through personal milestones and growing as a character, and is starting to see the end and get the momentum of life as you get closer and closer and you start believing in yourself and what it is you're trying to do, you get better and better abilities, like a free critical success, or even narrate how the scene goes. Narrate the whole game session is like the best one. So in a way that you don't have to roll, you can just start completely contributing as if you were a game master, because you are so in control of the life that you live in the world around you. So it gives something very entertaining, especially in a prolonged game, like if there's a long period. And there are also cool moments because then nobody will forget like the meeting where so-and-so took over, you know, or the scene that so-and-so took over. In this game, what will happen is we do have 3 milestones. So people will have their belief go up. So you will get to use some of them. And I do encourage you, you know, buy a success if it's important to you, you know?
Okay.
I will be right back, guys.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll just be 1 minute.
Yes, go for it. Boiko, if you want to, go and take a minute.
Okay. Does anybody know how I could update my profile picture so like it doesn't just show like?
Sure, yeah. You do you have a Google Plus?
Yeah.
If you go to Google Plus, you can change your picture there, your background, your like profile picture.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one just takes that picture.
Okay. I think I did that already. I maybe just need to log out and maybe I'll try to join the stream again.
Okay, cool. Boiko.
Well, that didn't work. Yeah. Anyway.
And okay, so tree.
I'm back.
Hey, Caius.
Hi, me too.
Yeah, so the next thing that's going to happen is the skills. Skills are obviously, what you know how to do, what you know about. You can also use the skills to add supernatural abilities. So think of it, there is no skill list. I didn't want to limit, if you give people 20 items, they all pick the same stuff. So if you want to be good at espionage, cool. That obviously has some implied stealth in it. If you want to be good at business, we can open that up, and that gives you some communication skills. That gives you some idea of accounting and marketing, whatever. You can, if you want to know how to fight, you could just put fighting, or you could put handgun. But if you have handgun, I know you know how to shoot. So you get an idea. They're pretty general. But if you pick something very specific, you're also going to know the more broad area of it.
Yep.
And basically how they work is you're going to have one of each rank, 1 through 4, 5 being the best. So mechanically speaking, if you have a rank 4, you have to roll a 7 or less to succeed. But if you have like a rank 1, you have to roll a 4 or less to succeed.
Yep.
So you want to come up with 5 skills. And then whatever the setting is, you'll obviously know, the minimal amount you need to coexist in that society. But you'll know what the internet is. You might not know how to use Twitter.
So it's probably assumed that, for instance, we can drive a car.
Yeah. But if you go try to drive like a sports car stick shift, then it might be,
or a truck or a bus or something like that.
Yeah, semi, yeah. But also don't be afraid to, if there are things like if you in your head have been building towards, magic or I don't know, supernatural abilities, occultism, divination, anything that might be something that you were leaning towards, they can still be introduced. We just basically make sure the other players want to have it in the game.
Okay, I was thinking about that for my character. I was thinking that my character would somehow have some kind of supernatural powers. For instance, where he could communicate with like spirits under some circumstances, or what was it? Could probably conduct exorcisms, like things like that. If you watch the Conjuring, the 2 films about the worms,
yeah,
you remember what one of the characters had like sort of had some supernatural powers.
Yeah, I mean, your skill could be something like, haunted, touched by a ghost, occultism, banishing, it could be, because it could even be, it could be like you mentioned exorcist or exorcisms, I mean, it could be some kind of non-magical thing. It could be just more of like a, supernatural, like you said, like, the names of ghosts, or you can see ghosts, or you can tell them to go away, and you show them your cross, or they listen to you, or
5 skills.
5 skills. Your rank 4 is better than rank 1, 2, or 3. Rank 4 you have to roll a 7 or less to succeed. So you're really good. Rank 1, 4 or less. They could be as general or as specific as you want, as long as they're all kind of in line with the other players. This is also the time where you could add something if you wanted the game to have a supernatural bend. You know, like somebody has magic or seeing ghosts or divining. That can be a skill.
This has just got me thinking. I'd quite like it to have a supernatural bent, but my jock is playing the part of a wrestler a wannabe wrestler who pretends to have a supernatural ability, but doesn't believe in anything at all.
Awesome.
Wannabe wrestler.
Wannabe wrestler. And of course, too, you know, one of the things that'll happen with the next few items on the character sheet is if you can't think of another one, then don't. You know, it's not the end of the world. As long as you have enough that you're happy. And one of the things, Micah, you missed when you were gone was they can't also be like professions. You know, like if you want a skill to be like business or, you know, chemistry or, you know, computer science.
Okay.
If it's rank 3 or 4, I imagine that you probably have some specialty in it. You know, if you know chemistry, maybe you know biological chemistry. If we had some advanced chemistry tools, you could use those. But if you had, you know, a lower rank chemistry, maybe you wouldn't know how to use them. Rank 3 is kind of that where things are, you gain the benefit of having been more specialized in something. If you have science, you may not know how to fly a rocket or, you know, build one. But if you have rank 3, 4, or 5, you might take rocket science.
What a grave robber have. Goodness.
You chose it.
I don't think that grave robber is your character's only defining characteristic.
Probably not.
If you struggle, you could always put grave robbing as a skill. But if we struggle to define it now, it may be harder to use it later. So, but it does work if we could just generally have the consensus. Oh yeah, that's grave robbery. We don't know what it is, but it sounds like grave robbery. Yeah, because I'd imagine there'd be a little bit of like, I don't know. You know how to dig, right? You'd have an eye for. You'd have an ear to like, you know, like who to listen to about like graves being like new graves. You'd know places to like go and when to go, like for a fresh grave or, you know, one that's been out there for a while. You'd know like how they were put together kind of, you know?
Yeah. So
you'd probably know a little bit about who would grave rob with you.
Yeah. So 5 skills. What rank are they?
You get 1 of each rank except for 5. So you get 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. So I kept saying 5 skills. I'm sorry, you get 4 skills.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I don't do math well, I guess.
Is it 4 skills? Because
yeah, sorry, it's 4 skills.
Oh.
I think originally I put 5 because I was going to give you 2 rank 1s, but oh no, I just wrote create 1 skill for ranks 1 through 4. Yeah, there you go. In the broader game, I still use like you know, you get 10 points, and then like rank 5 costs 5, rank 4 costs 4, but you get a break on ranks 2 and 1. You get more for the price. You get 2 rank 2s for 2 points. You get 5 rank 1s for 1 point. So that people, if they want to make that jack of all trades character, they can. But it does get ridiculous to have like 25 skills. But for the one-shot game, it was more, you know, a little too over, a little analysis paralysis for some people. So
once you get into the whole min-maxing, it gets, especially when you know you're going to advance your character. And
one of the interesting things, hopefully you'll see when you play the game, I don't know if you'll really see it in a one-shot, but what's an interesting thing is this game isn't so much about like power gaming and character creation as much as it's about knowing how to power game the game. So it's an interesting twist, you know, knowing how to use what, when, especially when we get to the tags. That is, you know, I can see that's where my min-maxers have a lot more fun. They're going to be like, I don't understand. I can power game everything. And then they play the game and they're like, oh, but now I have to use it. Okay. But then that's where they'll be like, oh, but I can power game this and that and put this together.
Yeah. So it's like Fate a little bit.
Oh, sure. Definitely a big influence.
Yeah.
One of the big things different from Fate was that, you know, we're goal oriented, and I did make it with more campaign play in mind. A lot of people criticize that Fate doesn't give you enough meeting to meeting, because they let you change one thing but not add. You know, the debate's out there. I'm okay with it, but that's general criticism I hear a lot. So we have skills, or let me know when we have skills, because then you're going to move.
We have skills. We have skills.
When you have your skills, go ahead and announce them. One of the things you want to make sure is that the other characters kind of know where you're going as you're building, so that, you know, if you sneak in like I cast spells, you don't find out at the end. I had one guy sneak in like I can summon Pokemon. Find out to like the first scene, and everyone else was like, well, damn, I didn't do anything cool like that.
All right, so my rank 4 skill is Perception.
Okay.
My rank 3 skill is Breaking and Entering. Rank 2 is Fleet Feet. And rank 1 is History.
Okay, so what I chose for my characters, for rank 4, I chose Student of the Paranormal.
Okay.
Rank 3 is I'm a medium, like medium who communes with the spirits. So I do have a little bit of paranormal power, and I can, you know, I can do a whole bit, you know, where we touch hands and you know, communicate with the dead, and you know, all the fun stuff. And after that, I chose Psychologist, you know, because I fear my character is somebody who often will have to console and like empathize with his clients, and like really listen to them, because often they're like struggling with something really traumatic. And I didn't know what for skill like at rank 1, so I chose Investigator, basically.
Awesome.
And I probably, this would include, you know, like doing research and history and things like that, which like whatever connects with the case. Now,
Micah, you mentioned perception.
Yes.
The game generally does not have like a perception skill or a notice skill. If you want to keep it, we can give you, you know, more of a general awareness of things, like you have a keen feeling of things, or you can swap it out.
I was thinking like searching for things might factor into that.
My rank 4 is wrestling. My rank 3 is, I'm not sure how to put this, but sort of media savvy. Or,
Cool.
Pop culture, sorry.
Yeah, pop culture or sort of media savvy. Rank 2 is drugs and painkillers. And my rank 1 is sewing and design.
Oh my god.
I do my own costumes. But I can knock up other things as well.
Micah, can you tell me yours again? I get your rank 4. What's your 3, 2, 1?
3 is breaking and entering. 2 is fleet feet. So like running the fuck away. And rank 1 is history. I was thinking like using that to know where historical figures might have been buried.
Awesome. Yeah.
Tomb Raider. My Tomb Raider sister.
All right, guys. We got like the last 2 things. We have tags. Tags are basically descriptions or descriptors. They're usually like one word. They're meant to describe how you do things. When you use them, you will get a benefit to your role. If I can use them against you, sometimes I'll use them to give you a penalty to your role. But they're used to, you know, when I'm going to go search this haunted house, but I'm clever. So I'm going to go cleverly search this house. And I'm very careful. So I'm going to be very careful about how I search the house. So you get 1 physical, which is anything of your body. So if you're smart or if you're strong, if you're, you know, quick-witted or if you are, you know, dexterous, anything of your body. You get 1 for appearance. You know, I got spiky hair or scars, anything you want. You get 1 for personality. So I'm curious, I'm kind, I'm, you know, conceited, I'm condescending. Temporary. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you have a broken toe.
Maybe I like that.
Yeah. How are these linked with the tags from our soul?
These can affect your skill roll. The soul tags affect the soul skill.
Okay.
So you're going to get a lot of tags. They all affect your skill roll. The soul tags are the only thing that affect the soul skill, so they're kind of precious.
Okay.
And then last but not least, there's a negative one. So you're going to start with 1 negative tag. You know, I'm a dick. You know.
I'm thinking of that one.
If you want to look at that character creation packet, like towards the end of it, there are 3 pages of just words, adjectives, if you need some help. I make you make 1 of each type just to kind of get a feel for how you have a little bit of each to start with. Depending on how the game goes, how you get more tags is that the other 2 players vote them onto your character by how you role play. So you might get a lot more, or you might not get any if people don't take advantage of that. The first person in game who helps start a tag vote will get their belief will go up by 1. So there's an incentive to be the first person to start it. But the idea is it's kind of an audience mechanic that if there are people sitting around the table or people that are not in the spotlight right now, they have more incentive to watch because they might give you tags that either will kind of further chisel out who your character is, that might benefit you in the future, or they might just have fun giving you negative stuff, which goes in a circle, and then everyone's having fun giving each other negative crap. So but to start with, you get 1 of each, so you have a little something of a strategy when you're trying to do a little bit of everything. So. If you're having trouble finding a word, you can always mention it to the group. Maybe we can help you come up with one we think fits. Okay, anybody got any tags?
For physical, I've chosen wiry.
Nice.
For appearance, I've chosen grimy.
I'm having a little trouble coming up with the words. I'm thinking that well, maybe like like communicate with the dead and using like my supernatural powers kind of takes a physical toll on my character. So he's kind of he's really skinny, like he has really drawn out features. I can't remember like the appropriate words for this. Like,
sure. You know, yeah, Micah had a really good one, which was wiry. Lanky, sharp, pointed, right? Yeah, it might be multiple.
Yeah, I was thinking about waning. Lanky is good.
Yeah, good. Lanky.
And that's for appearances, and for physical, I might take resilient.
Cool. Yeah.
For personality, I'll probably say empathic.
Nice.
I'm having trouble coming up with a temporary one.
That's okay. If you want to, you could skip it. It's more to give you an idea. But yeah, like, you know, tired, exhausted, sad, hurt, angry, hungry, cold, poor.
A mood or something like that.
Yeah, something that is likely to change relatively soon.
My physical is ripped. My appearance is square, because that's kind of personality as well. You know, just square, looks square and is square. Personality, overbearing. Temporary is suspended. He's professionally suspended for something.
Oh.
And weakness or whatever, negative is gullible.
For temporary, I might put in frustrated, because my character is sort of looked upon as a hack and a fraud, because he's dealing with the supernatural.
Okay, so here's my idea, and it kind of ties into Caius's character a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to say is like one of the reasons why I'm grave robbing is because I was purposefully left out of our parents' inheritance.
Oh.
So I'm broke as fuck, and Caius actually got everything.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. that fits my mentality too.
So my temporary tag is spiteful because I'm pissed off.
Nice.
And maybe that's why you haven't spoken with your sister.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Did everyone finish their tags?
Yes.
Yeah. For negative, I probably put in like bad reputation.
What was that?
Bad reputation.
Oh, okay.
Because self-explanatory.
I thought I heard bathroom. I was like, bathroom reputation. Okay. All right. So we have our tags. The last thing we would have is relationships and belongings. For relationships, since we don't have a ton of time to play, why don't you just go ahead and pick one person that you know. You want to think of who they are. You don't need to further develop it. Like, it's my sister, it's my dad, it's my accountant. And you want to tell me how you feel about them in one word, how they feel about you in one word, and what's their value. Like, the value could be like legal if it's a lawyer. It could be bodyguard if it's your friend. It could be like love interest. Sugar daddy could be your money.
All right. Well, I would hope that I know my brother.
Yep.
Go ahead and take one person outside of your brother, obviously. And kind of like Burning Wheel, generally, if you have relationships, I try to make them appear. If you don't pull onto them, you know, we can only do what we can do. But
Oh, these are relationships to NPCs?
yeah.
Ooh, okay, gotcha.
Sorry, that's a very good question. Yeah, they're kind of like contacts. Usually you would have ranks just like skills. The higher rank is like the more trusted they are, the more loyal they are, the more they would do for you. You know, like a 5 is the kind of person who would die for you. A 4 is the person who would do about, you know, give the shirt off their back, do about anything for you. A 3 is just a solid friend who, you know, would do most things within the law or within your friendship. You know, a 2 is kind of like the coworkers and people you have a working relationship with. You know, and a 1's just like someone, a friend of a friend, someone you barely know. We're all role playing, so role players. You're like, oh yeah, you role play. You know, I like you more than just anybody then.
So how many relationships do we
Normally
get?
you would do just like the skills, but we're just going to take 1 because we won't have a lot of time to involve them all.
Okay, what rank are they going to be?
Up to you, 1 to 4.
Okay.
Can
Think
I
of somebody-
pick my sister's ghost?
Whoa, good one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a 5 for me. Say what you want about my character. I was very close with my sister.
Awesome. How does she feel about you? One word. It could be, you know, a couple words if it's easier. Just, you know, if you don't make them a character creation, you don't get to decide these things. But since you get to make this one, that's the benefit of having it now instead of like in the first meeting, going and making these people your friends.
She saw the good in me.
Okay, Caius, you got somebody?
Yes. Mina Scolari, sort of, about her, I think she's useful. About how she feels about me, she's attracted to me, and she's rich.
How did you feel about her?
She's useful.
Did you say Mina Suvari?
Yes. Mina, well, whatever. Scalori, actually, I said, but.
You can be asked to remember her name.
She's Mina something. Mina Scalori. She's Mina Scalori.
Okay, and Boiko, how about you?
So probably in my business, in my profession, I have a partner. So I'll call her Carla, and for why are they important? Like just playing partner. We've been taking probably we both feel loyal towards each other.
Okay.
So I'll put this as text in both places, and yeah.
Is there something she's good at?
Oh, that's interesting.
She's your partner because she's also an investigator, or does she handle the business side, or is she the customer service person? She seal the deals,
Maybe she does like like when she does all the research, like she's better at this than me, and like she's one that makes all the phone calls, get she's good at getting access.
It sounds good.
And whereas I'm probably more of the science part of the equation.
Okay. It sounds like we have our relationships. If you want to, I won't hold you to it, but usually you pick out 3 items that are important to you. So in your meantime, think of a couple things that you want to have in your character. We'll assume that you have general stuff that applies. If you guys want, we could take 5 minutes for you if you need a creative break. But otherwise, we can get started. Does anybody want 5 minutes? Bathroom break or?
Yes.
I'm gonna
go for it.
I'll be 1 minute, but yes.
Me too. Okay.
After making characters, it's just good to get away from it for a minute. Oh. Okay. Caius, I hope you enjoyed the character creation process.
It's looking promising. I'm looking forward to trying out I'm interested in the character relationships and what's going to sort of develop from here. I'm not sure how I'll fit my character into this our aim of learning the secret and lifting the curse, etc. But we'll see. I have no idea at the moment because I seem to have gone off on a different direction on the character creation. But we'll tie it all in.
It's pretty cool, and you'll be able to use other people's information. It'll help. The game itself will help you come up with ideas.
I think those two are quite suited to the job in mind, and we'll see. and I'm just tagging along.
And Boiko, that's kind of what I was talking to Caius about. Hopefully you enjoy the character creation process. I like to think that the dream mapping,
it was fun.
Yeah,
so far.
I hate to cheat people out of it because it's pretty entertaining, and it's really a cool experience to kind of build the story, even the framework, as much as you have already. Like once you make a character, by then you've kind of seen like, wow, we did a lot already. We really made a game almost.
Yeah.
So it's my constant goal to constantly try to make that as fun of a experience instead of just like a monotonous, like, okay, let's fill in the dots. But you can't, it's still work, but hopefully it's entertaining. So and then when we get Micah, we'll start. And then Caius, I know you have a 3 o'clock, so I'll try to get us as finished as possible, or we'll see how far. It's really how the game goes. If we can't finish, we can't
another
finish.
hour. I have another hour and a half. Yep.
Okay. So
You guys did come up with a really cool little story framework that it's not so incredibly expansive. Sometimes, I'm leery about giving everyone a milestone because, each one comes with something that it's like, this is 4 sessions, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But you guys did kind of make a pretty tight little package.
I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. So I guess very quickly, Micah, is there anything you want to say about your character to the other players that maybe they don't know or haven't known, or, anything like you just want them to know before we get started? As players, not character-wise, just about your character.
I am the sister to the deceased, brother to Caius's character.
What's everybody called? Can we have names?
I'll be Janice. What's her family name? I think that seems pretty important.
Oh.
It's got to be something like very like haunt or something, like the Trixies, or like something like is you're like really
LaFay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I'm Janice LaFay then.
And I'm Morton LaFay. But my wrestler name is The Hypnotist.
Caius, how old are you thinking of your character? Is he like in high school? Is he college age? Is he his 30s, 40s?
I think he's graduated, sort of graduated college age, or sort of early on in his career. Okay. He's looking for a break, but he's just started professionally.
Oh wait, is he like a WWE type wrestler?
Yeah, he'd love to be in WWE, but he's not. He's on the indie circuit.
Yeah,
looking for his break.
He's a quote unquote professional wrestler.
Yeah, he probably has another job, but I haven't thought about that yet. So yeah, he wants to be a full-time professional wrestler, but he's probably got some day job somewhere.
Boiko, anything you think the other players need to know?
Well, yeah. I'm the kind of person you call when you have no other alternatives, basically. And it seems like the other characters don't have any alternatives right now. For whatever reason, like they're being haunted.
Were you hired by someone, or?
I'm thinking that maybe you've hired me because you kept like seeing the ghost of your deceased sister haunting you.
As I see it, I've messed up a really important sort of TV or sort of really important interview or chance to impress, because I've been haunted by the sister, and it's kind of messed up my opportunity to get into the big league, and I need to sort this out before it really. And I'm sure it's my little sister's fault. I'm sure it's Janice's fault.
But what's your sister's name? I mean, the deceased one.
Lily LaFay.
All right. Okay, let's get started. So,
I haven't picked a name.
oh, okay. While that's happening, each of you need to roll 2d10, two 10-sided dice. One is under your imagine, and one is under your reason. This is your first vision roll.
Caius, what's your character's name again?
I'm going to be Jeremy Mason.
Johnny Mason?
Jeremy.
Jeremy Mason.
Yeah.
Let's write our names in the chat. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and then when you make your roll, let me know what you get. I saw Caius pull up Dice Stream. I think I have to approve it on this account, but you guys can roll dice, whatever you think's fitting. Probably it's better to have 2 different colors.
2 fails.
Okay.
How do we tell what a fail or a success is?
Good question. So you want under or equal to your imagine and to your reason. One on one die, one on the other die.
All right, gotcha. I failed on my imagine, succeeded on my reason.
Okay. And then Boiko, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead and roll 2d10 and roll 1 under your imagine and 1 under your reason.
I failed both.
Okay. All right. So what a vision roll does is it allows each player to kind of influence what I may be thinking or the direction we may go towards the first milestone. In the beginning of the session, we detailed the order of the 3 milestones. So the first thing we want to do is we want to learn about the haunted house or object. And we go from the order of the person who rolled the least successes to the person who rolled the highest, and we start to kind of describe what we think is their character's approach of getting to this thing, having this thing happen. So Caius, actually we'll go left to right. Boiko, what I want you to do is think about, we need to learn the haunted house's location or object secrets. How would your character go about doing that?
So first thing that will happen is we get in a room and we start an interview. Like I start about when they first see the apparition, what does it do? Like how does it appear to them? How they know they're being contacted? It's their sister. Exactly. How did the sister die? Do they know about like any history of haunting in their family? Something suspicious? You know, like this is probably the most appropriate moment for Janice to mention that maybe she likes to rob Grace, and basically we show up to their doorstep, me and Carol, and with a tape recorder, and put it on the table and say so start up from here.
Okay. Now you rolled double failures. So that's how you visualized handling the situation, but not how it's going to go down.
Okay.
Now, Caius, you're doing this as a player, so you can take anything you like out of what he mentioned, or go in a completely different direction. But from your character standpoint, if your sister's ghost had to be put to rest, and there was a haunted house or secret, or what was it? Haunted house or object secret involved, how would your character go about dealing with that?
As I'm imagining it, it's the childhood home we return to. That's possibly the owners are away on holiday because it's been resold, and we just need to, I don't know, there's probably some belonging, some stupid teddy bear of my sister's or something that we need to find, that we buried in the garden when we were children. Find, dig it up, burn it, or sort of do some mumbo jumbo, finish the curse, and get on with our lives.
Awesome. Okay. And then now, in your case, the same thing is that something is actually going to go wrong with what your purview of what it is that happened or how you would handle it. But you're also fueling ideas for the other players to build. And ultimately what you're doing is you may be giving me better ideas than I created myself, which are awesome too. Micah, now you benefited because you got one success. So after whatever you describe, you're also going to give yourself a tag that is temporary for the rest of this sort of like event that will benefit you out of what you're thinking. So you're going to describe kind of what you're saying. You're going to be like, my character has these thoughts, so he's pretty clever about what's going on right now. He's going to have a tag that's a temporary benefit.
Okay.
And you can totally continue building off what you heard, make something completely different. And don't feel that you have to tell the whole story. All you have to do is kind of, what is your character's impression of what happened and how you would respond? And we know that there's a haunted house or secret objects involved in the putting your sister's ghost to rest.
So I'd say that there was supposed to be a meeting today between Jeremy and with the surviving family members. Rather than go to the meeting, I decided to go to a bar because I just didn't want to hear about my sister. And so I will be showing up late for the consultation.
Okay.
It's a gray and rainy day. Is that kind of like what I'm supposed to do? Is that good? Or...
There's really no wrong way to do it.
Okay.
Other than trying to answer all of the things you propose, that'd be a problem. But yeah, you're great. Okay. So ultimately, it's kind of to get you more in the mindset of your character. And as we do more of these, the first one's the weirdest one because you're not really in character yet. But after the first one, you're more in character and you're probably responding to something for the next milestone. So it's a little more clear cut of where you're going with it. So all of you basically know that Lily LaFay passed away. The two family members have been brought to town. Do you guys care what time period? If you don't care, then we're going a little bit in the past.
I like that, a little bit in the past.
Yeah. I'm think of it more like the 80s, maybe the late 70s, just something far enough away where we don't really have cell phones. A small town is a little bit more about having to be in person. we lack some of the technology that gives us the comforts of today. So you're in this town. We'll call it Marlowsville. And Marlowsville is a small town. It's Riverside. It's where the two of you would have grown up, those who are from here. Boiko, you probably are from a nearby city or suburb that's a little more outside of town. Something like this, once there's a paranormal activity attached to it, would attract you here. Now we know that Micah is at a bar. We know that Caius has come to investigate the situation. So why don't we start with Micah? I'm sorry, with Caius. So Caius, the first thing, we'll say that you probably didn't leave. Maybe you went to school or something, like you said college, or I said college. Maybe you went to college, but maybe you returned back home. So in Morristown, you were one of the first to be contacted. And we'll go ahead and make it so that maybe your parents are passed away. So you're kind of more older kin in that way. So you're kind of like next in line to have been contacted. We'll start with you getting a phone call. Of course, this would be a landline, probably at your house or apartment.
Wait, so I was thinking more of they contacted me because they needed help.
Yep.
Gotcha. So Caius, you get a phone call. You hear the old-fashioned ringing. It goes through the house. Not all the ringtones of today.
39641.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for Morton LeFay.
Is this the revenue department? He's moved on. He doesn't live here anymore. I don't know where he. Who is it, by the way?
Sir, this is not the Internal Revenue Service or any kind of tax finding collection agency. Is this Morton LeFay?
Yep. I'm Morton's brother. How can I help
you? You just hear this long pause, which you could imagine is followed by a deep gasp. Not gasp, like a deep sigh. Okay, let's go ahead and take it your way. I need to get a message to Morton. Do you think you could pass that on to Morton?
Yeah, I should be seeing him soon. What should I tell him?
I'm afraid it's a bit of a sensitive matter, and Morton might want to sit down if he heard this message.
Oh, what is it? I say, he says, sitting down and getting out a cigarette.
Unfortunately, a member of your family has passed away. And then there's that long pause, which is just probably makes you think of all the people you really like. It's unfortunate. I don't have the best ways to put this, but Lily LeFay is perished. Kind of be a few moments pass, maybe. I don't know how deep that sinks with you, but the next moment you realize you're still in that conversation. He's like, yeah, so I'm Sergeant Michaels, Morrisville Police Department or Sheriff's Department. We located her body. It was down by the river. And, you don't know what details you missed, but he started explaining who he was and where he's at and what they know as you kind of come back into the conversation. And it appears that you are next of kin. So, Morton, we'd like you to come down and identify the body.
Yeah, sure. Tell me where and when, and I'll be there.
There's one of two ways we can do this, Morton. We have her by the river. It's never a good way to see someone in your family pass away. But it isn't any horrible situation of a person, and he kind of drags on.
Just tell me where to come. I'll be there.
Okay. He gives you an address. It's got a Riverside address. You grew up in this town, so you know where it is. Some property there's a few properties over there. They're riverside. They used to be decent, but they haven't been well upkept these days. And of course, he directs you not to a house, but along the river between at the end of a street.
Yeah, I'm a little shook up by that, so I'll take a taxi.
Okay. As you do. Okay. So, Micah, you get a phone call.
On the what?
Micah, you get a phone call.
Nice.
On the last ring, I pick up.
Okay.
I don't say anything. I just pick up.
Hello? It's a woman's voice. Not too young. Hello? Is anybody there? I can hear you breathing.
Yeah, I'm here. What is it? Who are you?
My name's Carla. It's Boiko and Kondo Paranormal Investigations. Not part of us.
I think you have the wrong number.
No, wait. It's about your sister, Lily.
Yeah.
Please don't hang up. Please don't hang up.
Wait, what?
It's about Lily. Do you have a sister named Lily? Is this who is this? This is Jeremy, right? I got the right number?
Yeah.
What the hell am I doing? This phone?
It's Janice.
Janice. Sorry, I mixed it up. Janice. Okay. That was my bad, not hers. Oh, Janice, yes. Your sister Lily. Have you heard the news?
What news?
Oh my God. Would you consider yourself a strong, resilient person? At this point, you're probably thinking like, this is the weirdest call I've ever received.
Well,
I hang up. I hang up, and I will call for the first time in, geez, it's been at least 5 years. I'll call my brother.
All right.
So wait, I'm getting a bit mixed up with the timeline. So, like, Lily has passed out just now, and why are we going to Janice right now?
Yeah, it's okay. It's more of like movie making in the way. You guys all fed me ideas and things to work with, and I'm molding that into a storyline. So kind of disregard the stuff that we in our vision roll, and it's my way of getting us all connected and involved. So yeah, the timeline is a little funny now, but it'll make sense in a minute.
But what was our idea? Why did we call Janice in the first place? Why?
I think you guys are trying to set up a consultation with the family.
Yeah, that's basically what we're getting to. I'm lining it up so that when you show up, it's ready.
Okay, but how did we find out that there was something supernatural about why did we suspect it of why did we think that this is a case for us?
Sure. Carla has a contact in the police department that gave her a call. You're already going to be en route.
Okay.
She was trying to set up the situation for you, and it didn't go well. So,
okay.
Because she's just trying to line up the work, and you are en route. So it's kind of being set up. And I was going to explain it as it goes. But yeah, she's just got a person in the police force that knew that there was something weird about what happened here.
Okay.
Tip.
Okay.
So you would know all of that, and you're going to have a contact when you get there. But yeah, you're just kind of driving over to Morrisville now. So.
Okay.
So go ahead, Micah, and have your conversation with Caius. Caius, you're in a taxi, so you're going to miss this call. Micah, you call, but you get a I don't know. Caius, do you have a voicemail? Answering machine?
If it's the 80s, I guess so. Yep. Yep. I'm not in right now.
Micah, you can leave a message if you want to, but I don't know if you're the type that leaves a message.
And there's a message saying, "This is the hypnotist. Call back if you dare."
Hey, pick up, you pig-headed shit. Pick up, pick up, pick up, and she just starts like going off like that for several minutes before finally hanging up.
How about I was actually on my way out and just was planning on going to get the taxi, but when I hear my sister's voice, I think, shit, she's the one person I might delay my taxi ride for.
Certainly. So,
pick up, you there? I know you're there. Pick up. Pick the fuck up.
Lily, don't speak like that to me.
I'll speak to you however I want.
I mean, Janice. Where are you? What are you doing? Have you heard anything? Why are you phoning me?
What were you saying? Is Lily okay?
I don't know. I just got a message.
What do you mean you don't know?
I just got a message from some guy down at the police department telling me to come and meet him at this address, and I'll give her the same address down at the waterfront.
I don't understand. What does this mean? Jeremy, what the fuck does this mean? Can you guys hear me?
When was the last time you heard from Lily, Janice?
You hear her kind of like choke back a sob suddenly. I don't know. Well, why does that matter?
Listen, why don't you come down and, there are some police down there, so try and clean up. Don't look grimy, come down.
Nice.
And you'll see.
Okay, Micah, you gonna head down?
Yeah, I kind of just hang up on Jeremy just without saying anything.
Do you have a car?
Yeah, I have a pickup truck.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So at the scene, Boiko, you arrived before the two of them. When you come up, you just see a couple squad cars, but these are like sheriff's department cars because this is like a small town, kind of a little, it's small enough that it doesn't really have its own full staff police department. They call the sheriff's office for most. So you see a couple cars. Those cars are brown in color, not just the black and white you're used to. They got the blue tops that are put on manually. These are the older, longer, big boat cars that we had. So when you do arrive, you see 3 officers. They all got like those Mountie hats, the old school police hats. And there are a few people walking around being nosy, but you can tell that these police officers are kind of at the end of a street that kind of goes down a hill a little bit by the river, and that's where whatever is going on is.
Is the cop that tipped us off there? Like the one who? Oh, well, we go and talk to him first.
Okay, his name is Tom Millsville.
Mills?
Tom Millsville.
Millsville.
Okay. We'll make it Mills. That's easier. Tom Mills.
Well, we go up to him and ask him what happened and why did he feel he needed cause.
Now, Carla sent you, so she stayed back
Okay.
At the office, whatever that is. so you pulled up. Does your car have like a logo on the side, a sign on it, or is it just a regular car?
Well, it's a regular car, but I'm probably I probably have some equipment in there, but you know. But probably when I go out, I have some kind of weird meter, like EPK meter, or like whatever.
Okay. You walk out with some interesting gadget. One of the officers starts walking towards your car when you pull up. You recognize him from Carla's description as Officer Tom Mills. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Are
you Tim Mills?
Yes, I am. Are you?
I'm Jeremy Mason. I'm Carl's partner.
Yeah.
We work you work together.
I think I saw your flyer at the library bulletin board.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me what's happening here?
Yeah, all right. I can't take you right to the girl this minute, but I can probably 5-10 minutes. We got to wait for the next of kin to arrive, but I can give you the details.
Okay, that would be a good start.
He looks over his shoulder and he makes eye contact with one of the other two officers. So you don't feel like you're
okay.
You feel like this is all on the level. So, all right. So we found a woman. She goes by the name of Lily LaFay. Her family grew up in this town. We found her body down by the river. But
by the way, I'm taking notes and yeah.
We found her body down by the river. The thing that's funny about it is that her body looks like, well, she doesn't really look dead.
Really?
But she's got no pulse, no vital signal. She's wet too, cold. Her body was pulled from the river, but she looks like she just took a bath. It's very strange. She's got a very strange pendant around her neck. It's red and glowing. That's actually how they found her. Some local kids saw the red glowing underneath the river water. I mean, she was definitely down there at least, 10, 20 minutes, maybe a day. I don't know. Coroner's not here yet.
But she doesn't look like she's been long underwater for a long time.
Yeah, her body
doesn't look very swollen.
No, it's not pale either.
Drowning victims usually get swollen up after a long time. She doesn't look like she has been drowned.
He just shaking his head. At this time, Caius, your taxi pulls up. So Boiko, you can see that a taxi is pulling up behind you.
Okay. Well, but there's probably a lot of rubbernecks and a lot of people who are just looking around. So I probably don't take note of it.
Okay.
Well, no, there are a few people who look back in the 70s. Having ripped bodies like this was pretty uncommon, and the orange skin, the sort of the whole look is not your average guy in the 80s. Even in the 80s, it's pretty uncommon. He pulls himself out of the small taxi, and
what's your facial hair?
Pardon? Facial hair. He's got a Magnum PI mustache. A Magnum PI mustache and what's a mullet.
Is this guy from the department?
Now, yeah. So the cop looks over your shoulder, Boiko.
Yeah.
I think that's next to kin right there.
Okay.
He pulls a note from his pocket That just basically check the name. It's like, yeah, Morton or something. Mort.
Okay, Morton Le Fay.
Yeah. There's the next of kin. I can't let you speak with him once he goes down by the body, but if you just happen to catch him on his way, you might be able to ask him some questions or slide him one of your business cards.
Okay.
He turns around so that he's not, you know, like in the way or watching.
Well, I might go across Morton as he makes his way towards the body, and give him my condolences, and try to ask him a couple of questions. I go up and say, "I'm sorry, Mr. Le Fay. I'm sorry about your sister."
So you see a police officer not too far ahead of you, Caius, and he starts walking back towards obviously where the scene is, over by the riverbed. And he was talking to this man who Boiko, if you want to describe yourself, like, I don't know if you have a long trench coat or cigar in the mouth, or yeah. What kind of paranormal investigation?
I'll probably have I'll have a suit and tie and the whole stick, but I'm like kind of pale and really lanky, and have really what's the word? Pronounce cheekbones, because like right now I'm really skiing. And I have slicked back hair. And, I look at like I could be like a detective or something like that.
Yep, and Morton immediately assumes, with all these police around, he was talking to the police, that he's the sort of plainclothes police guy in charge or something, and says to him, "Please lead me down to the body."
Does he say this to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Le Fay, do you know what might have happened to your sister? Like, when did you see her last?
When did I see her last? Well, we travel around a lot in my business, but I must have seen her last year sometime.
You haven't seen her since a whole year ago?
Was it anything to do with that Frenchman she was seeing?
I don't know. We have to find that out. You haven't spoken on the phone since then?
Yeah. Well, we don't talk that much. I don't have a lot of time, We've talked. I'm just thinking, when's the last time? A couple of months ago, maybe 3.
Oh. Okay.
Show me to the body, I tell him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I show him where the body is, and as we're going, like as he's going to us, I ask him if.
I ask you, how did she die? When did you find her? Who found her?
She was found in the in the lake, in the water, but she doesn't show signs of drowning.
But she doesn't show signs of drowning. I go and walk up then and have a look.
Yeah.
I ask you, take a look at like the pendant she's wearing. Do you know if your sister having a pendant like that glows? Is this your sister's?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I consider it for a second, and then a voice from the back of my brain tells me it is.
Okay. As you start walking up, one of the police officers begins walking towards you. He looks. Are you Morton? Morton LeFay?
I am. Yep.
Okay. Is this man bothering you? He points to Boiko, Jeremy.
No, he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. You should recommend him to your boss, I say.
He shrugs his shoulder, and the two of you walk down just a slight hill, and you can see down by where the river kind of meets this hillside. There's a very thin amount of water there, and there's what looks to be something like a sheet or a blanket laid out, and you can see Lily's body that's laying on it. From the distance here, she looks to be remarkably well kept. As you do, Micah, your truck pulls up. You see a taxi leaving. You see a unmarked car, and you see a couple squad cars.
I just sit there in the cab of the pickup truck, just like watching the scene, my hands kind of like gripping the steering wheel, shaking uncontrollably.
Okay.
We see a woman in her mid-20s wearing jeans and a wife beater. A wife beater that is incredibly dirty. Like it's more gray than than white at this point. Her hair is a complete mess. Blonde with purple highlights on the side.
Okay. Caius, you basically, as you kind of like are just talking to that officer, you and Jeremy are just, you can see the body. You do hear a truck pull up, and when you look over, you can see that it's your sister. It probably won't stop you from going to the body, but it can if you want to.
Does he recognize the truck?
I look over at the truck, pull out my packet of cigarettes and light another, and go over, look at the body, and then look up at this lanky figure next to me and say, yes, it's her.
It's great. Yeah, one of the police officers is also standing by the body. He just steps back, lets the two of you have your moment.
Okay. I'm trying to console him, put a hand on his shoulder, like saying, I'm sorry, man.
I just kind of ignore the hand. I'm just sort of in my own world at this time.
Okay, so I take this as a sign that I shouldn't bother him. Can I check something on the body?
Of course you can. You also have an investigation skill.
Yeah. So I look for anything suspicious or interesting or unusual on the body. I'll probably try the doll size test on the corpse's eyes, things like that.
So the first thing you want to do is you describe to me how you're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and make a dice roll, like as in a check for it. The skills that you have, which one do you think fits best? Are you looking more for the paranormal investigation, or are you just investigating in general right now?
Well, can I do both, one after the other?
Yeah, if you want to, you could. I would just take roll your better skill, which would be your paranormal.
Okay, I'll roll. Yeah.
Now, this is something that you're very well trained at, probably. It's probably something that you're looking for all the routine signs. So it's probably reason. Is there anything that would make you feel otherwise?
Yeah, but Yeah, I think that I know all the tales and all the signs of something foul happening, like something unclean, something supernatural.
Okay. Do you have any tags that would help you in investigating this body?
I don't think so.
Okay, so go ahead and make a roll. You want to roll 1 die under your reason, and you want to roll 1 die under your paranormal investigation, which is 7 or less.
Okay.
Because that's your rank 4, I believe, right?
Dice. So one roll for my reason, which is 6. I rolled a 4, so that's a success. And the other one is 3, so that's success on both.
Excellent. Now, one thing to mention to all the players is that anytime you want to add something, change something, edit something in the game as we're playing, you can. One of the things you can do is you can spend your reason or your imagine, lowering it for the rest of the session. In this case, it'd be till the next milestone. By doing so, you can either spend a reason to edit or change something that's going on or how something works in the background, or you could spend like an imagine to add or remove a critical, like a detail, like something like he could be like, I found a matchbook in the woman's pocket. The pendant that she's wearing happens to have an engravement on the back.
Okay.
Just your ideas. You double succeed though, so you may not need any help. You can't help but stare at that pendant. That pendant is strange. It looks like an old heirloom, like something more vintage, something from like the 20s, like an older silver, but it's got a red gem in it. But it looks like a crystal, not a gem. And that crystal is almost cloudy, but it's brilliant at the same time. Like cloudy on the inside, but there's almost the light around it almost looks like it's shining light, like a flashlight. You can't help but stare at it. Now, her body is remarkable in the way that it's so well preserved. I mean, you'd think that she just fainted in the river and was just taking a nap, but she's not breathing. Her body's not moving. Her body's cold to the touch. You don't feel the blood moving. When you pull those eyes back, you just see the whites of her eyes.
Okay.
So
does
would you like
this
to further look at the pendant, or do you want to look at anything in particular?
Okay, does this sound familiar to me? Like, have I encountered a case like that? Like rather either in person or in like read about it somewhere?
You've heard strange stories of, pendants, necklaces, amulets, jewels, gems, all kinds of things like that, holding souls, imprisoning ghosts, removing spirits, holding spirits. So that's what the stories this takes you to in your head naturally.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to have many belongings. Like, it's strangely how little she has in belongings. Like, she's a woman. Where's her purse? She's she's got shoes, but it's just kind of like she's all dressed like she went somewhere, but she's got nothing on her except for a pendant.
Could like the state of her body be connected with the pendant and the pendant holding her spirit or something like that?
It definitely could.
So okay. So yeah.
The thing you have going for you right now.
Mm-hmm. Can I investigate the pendant further?
Of course. Meanwhile, Caius, of course, you see him, kind of like looking over the body, checking that there's not really any belongings. You can tell he like lightly touches her arm to kind of no pulse, no blood, the normal stuff. But then he does begin to look at the pendant and then hold it in his hand and kind of flip it around. Micah, if you're in the truck, is there anything you'd like to do at this moment? Because I got something for you. So you hear from what you feel like you hear you swear it was Lily's voice, and it sounds like it's coming from down by the river, like just outside of you. You can see the tops of the heads of a couple officers, but you can't see the body from here.
My eyes kind of widen slightly. Maybe she's okay.
You have that weird perception skill, so why don't you roll that? And it's probably imagine in this case, unless you can think of otherwise.
So how does the rolling go? Like, it's perception, so...
You're going to roll 1d10 under or equal to perception, and then 1d10 under or equal to your imagine.
Okay.
If you have any tags that you think might help you hear a spiritual voice or, something in that odd way, you can try to describe how that would help you,
Yeah, I'm curious, actually.
Okay.
Well, that only works on the soul tag, right?
That's fine. That would help your imagine.
Okay.
So consider your imagine being 1 higher.
Okay. All right, I passed my imagine.
Okay.
And remind me again how the skills work. Its perception is rank 4, so I would have to get less than 4?
Less than 7. If you look all the way to the right of the skill...
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I fail my perception, though.
Okay. All right, so you said you used curious. Okay, so consider you can't use curious for the rest of, until the next milestone, which not a lot of time. So you get 1 success, which means that when you get 1 success and 1 failure, you succeed, but with some cost. So in this case, all that you notice is that you hear the voice. We know out of character that it's weird because your windows are rolled up. You don't have, it sounded unmuffled. It sounded uncontained. It sounded loud, but not like a yell. So how would you possibly have heard her from here? But these aren't things that you considered. You just heard her and you're like, maybe she's okay. So what do you do?
I get out of my pickup truck and start running toward the crime scene.
Okay.
Meanwhile, can I, while I'm holding the panel, can I try to get in touch with Lily Spirit using my medium skills?
Excellent. Yeah, definitely. Give me a roll. Is this something you just came up with, or is this something that you know how to do? Like you've studied this before?
I've studied this before. I've trained this before. So I guess it's going to be reason.
Reason and medium.
Yeah. Can I, if I use a tag, it gets used up. Is this right? If I use my personality tag, which is empathetic,
that you can use that one as much as you want. It's just the skill tags that get used up.
So, do you think it applies here? Empathetic? Because I'm trying to get in touch with Lily, trying to find out like what's ailing her. Like, has she departed from this world?
I can see that. Yeah, you're trying to empathize with her, like, spirit of how she feels. Where is she?
Like, is she trapped? Is she suffering right now?
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
So I add 1 to my reason.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Add 1 to your medium.
Oh, okay. So I'm rolling for reason now. So I rolled the 7, so I didn't see it on my reason, and now I'm rolling for my medium, and I failed my medium check also.
Okay. All right. So you come up. Kind of describe how you look so that Caius can take it into consideration when he's like watching you.
Well, I'm staring into like I probably try to look like I'm to appear like I'm doing some detective job, but I'm for a moment I might go look like absent, like I'm staring into the distance or something like that. But Jera, I'll try not to look too weird.
I like that you were like, I try not to look too weird.
Yeah.
Not that you don't, you just try.
Yeah. Because I'm aware that it's a crime scene, it's a dead body, and it's like the next the closest family members, and so on and so forth.
One of the police officers looks at the other guy, and he's like, I can't take any of this crap, and he starts walking back up the hill. The other police officer, he lights up a cigarette and starts walking back with him. Caius, you see that Janice comes running down the hill.
Oh.
Micah, you see Lily's body, and you see Morton right next to her, and some individual in a suit and tie that is holding the pendant around her neck, not like tight, holding the pendant, and he looks strangely meditative.
Oh, Lily.
Yeah.
I kind of Janice just sort of crumples to her knees.
At first she looks great.
But then I notice that she's not moving, not breathing. Even from the distance I'm kind of at, I can tell she's not okay. At
that point, Boiko, Jeremy, you get knocked backward from the pendant. Oh. Almost like as if it was like a push of wind. Telekinetic energy kind of throws you back. The pendant doesn't fall back to her chest as gravity should dictate. It hangs there where you were holding it. And all of you feel showered in like a red light, as it just kind of as if you saw some brilliant light in front of you and it blinded you and everything kind of went like white where you couldn't make things out anymore. And
are you seeing this?
Yeah, all of you can hear nothing except for Micah. Janice, you hear Lily's voice, and Lily's voice says, "You're here. You have to right this wrong. I'm trapped in the pendant, and only you or one of my family can free me from this." And you don't feel you can talk back, but you hear it clear as day, and it's soft, and it's your sister talking to you like there's been no time passed.
And Morton had been talking up to this stage, telling of the last time he saw Lily and sort of explaining what he thinks police officers should know about this sort of situation, and every now and then sort of stopping himself when he started criticizing his dead sister for not showing enough ambition or wanting to get out of the neighborhood. But this red light just stops him in his tracks, and he just looks shocked, and then he turns over and looks over at Janice, and
the tears comes over on her face, but where there was once grief, there's suddenly just like this very determined, hardened look in her eyes.
Yeah.
And your brother comes over like the big sort of oaf he is and grabs you and hugs you.
Now, when the light fades, the the three of you, you know, everything kind of comes back into view as it was, with that red light flowing past you. It's just like being blinded. You know, it's hard for your eyes to dilate for a while. Mort, when you hug Janice, you're not surprised that you don't feel over enthused by the warmth of her back. That's never.
Yeah,
been
she doesn't hug you back. She just keeps staring at the body.
And when he's hugged you for a little bit, he lets go and absent-mindedly, without knowing what he's doing, starts wiping his hands on his jacket.
Now, Mort, when you do touch Janice, you feel like you can hear Lily's voice for a moment, and the two of you both get this like sort of daydream image of a place. It's a place that's got a sign in front of it, and it's called the Alicia Ide's Bed and Breakfast. And you see a building. It just, you know, conveniently kind of like the camera pans to catch the signage in front of it. It's a place both of you know. It is in town.
Janice kind of gasps, and she kind of like, her hands like come up to her head, and she like grabs these big handfuls of her hair. She looks at you, her eyes just kind of like bulging out. And she's like, Morton, did you see that? Did you see it?
I know I saw it. I saw the red light.
Who the fuck are you? She kind of like looks you up and down, her nose kind of wrinkles. She looks back at Morton. Who the fuck is this guy?
He's a police officer.
Doesn't look like a pig.
Shh, shh. She's upset, I say to the police around.
Yeah, no shit, I'm upset. I kind of like, I imagine Morton like tries to kind of like put like this kind of like hand on her shoulder, and she like just like slaps his hand away.
Yep, exactly.
So, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and fast forward from here.
Yep.
The two of you, obviously, eventually find out more about who Jeremy is. Jeremy can explain what he does and why it might help you.
By the way, if I ever get to like touch Giants, if we shake hands or something like that, if I get that vision, I'll probably try to like focus on it and like try to channel it and try to make make it a little bit more clearer and get some more information and try to talk to Lily again.
Of course. Yeah, go ahead and make a medium roll in the background as I'll continue narrating. The Caius and Micah, so if the two of you don't mind, do you want to move on to the bed and breakfast?
Yes, eventually I guess we'll go there.
And of course, if you have a difference in mind, we can do something differently. Do you want to talk about it for a second? Do you would the three of you not go? Would you do something else?
I think we would. Janice would anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we yeah, and I would too.
Okay, Boiko, you want to go ahead and make that medium roll?
So I wrote under my reason, but I couldn't wrote under my medium. I wrote a 10 from medium.
Okay. So, Micah, would you have shaken Boiko's hand, Jeremy, the paranormal investigator?
Probably not. I'd be keeping my distance from this.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Okay.
So, more than likely, Boiko, you probably would have like reached out and touched her. You grabbed her by the shoulder or something. But that, I don't know. Is that too aggressive for you?
I kind of see that she like doesn't want body contact in the moment, so I'll probably avoid like touching her for longer periods of time. So unless if she tells me that she at some point tells me about hearing Lily's voice, and then Morton recounts that he also heard her voice when he touched her. Maybe I'll put two and two together, and I'll say, like, give me your hand, and I'll try to get in touch with your sister, because at this point, I see that that they already have communicated with the dead person, so I know they'll believe me. So at some point we might as well go with it, as long as Janice doesn't mind that.
So Janice, how do you feel about him talking about how he could learn more with his paranormal investigatory abilities?
So since we're kind of like, it seems like we're kind of like fast forwarding. We're kind of jumping around a bit. Let's say that we went to a diner afterwards just to kind of like get some coffee, kind of calm down a bit. On the car ride there, I start like ripping on Morton. I'm like you're hiring psychics now. You're hiring psychics. You're taking pills. Oh yeah, I bet Dad would be impressed. I'm sure he's loving that he gave the inheritance to you. Just like she's just constantly just ripping on him the entire way to the Denny's or whatever. As you pull into the parking lot.
Morton wasn't the one who called me here.
Oh, shut up! she practically spits at you in the back seat.
Well, it's her car.
It's her car.
Yeah. Well,
if you just showed some ambition and looked after yourself, if you combed your hair and washed more often, I'm sure our parents would have included you in the will. But I have a future. I'm going places, and you look at you. You're not doing anything. You'll never get out of the neighborhood.
I try to be sort of a mediator between the two,
but
and
but let's not
get along.
Lily died.
Like when he goes, he starts ripping on her, like that. I go, like, Morton, dude, like.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't speak like this on the day that your sister died.
My sister? My sister?
Our sister died, but you loved her very much, and I did too.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did. She pulls into the parking lot of the Denny's, and as she gets out of the car, she says, "I bet those supplements make your dick shrink too." Slams the door.
And I turn to our passenger and say, she loves me really. We just have a strange relationship, my sister and me.
So when you're at the Denny's, so the disgruntled group walks up to the door. I imagine, Boiko, you're probably like walking a few feet behind them or a few feet in front of them as they just kind of bitter batter back and forth. Now at Denny's, you have the chance to talk amongst each other. Is there anything you wanted to talk about in particular?
Okay. I'm back online.
This is the time where you could try and do that kind of medium mumbo jumbo thing with me.
Nice. Okay. So, Boiko, all you missed was that you got to the Denny's. They've been kind of bickering the whole time. It's pretty feisty, but at the same point, for how feisty it is, they both don't seem like they hate each other for it.
Oh, okay.
You kind of tell when two people can say things to each other that hurt, but they still didn't. One of them didn't storm off. So you're at Denny's. It's probably still a little uncomfortable between the two of them, and it sounds like Mike is giving you a little bit of leeway to try your paranormal mumbo jumbo. I don't know if she would make that clear. She'd either make it overly clear or probably not clear at all.
Okay, I tell you know, if you want to, like, you know, and like I'm trying to be like as polite as possible to like set up the moon. If you want to, you can give me your hand and I'll try to contact Lily for you. But you know, you don't have to do it.
You have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
Oh yes, you have to do it.
I'm doing it. God. She kind of holds out her hand.
So as I said, I rolled success on my reason and failed on my medium.
Okay. So basically, when you touch her hand, you then go into your sort of medium feels. You start trying to like feel like as if there's something being said to you, not hear but feel. And when you do, the waitress comes over. So, do you three of you want to hear about our special? She turns around, complete turn on one fell swoop, walks away.
And one coffee, I shout
Yeah.
out.
Okay, she kind of skips away, like you know, like panicked skip, like not walked away. And then yeah, Boiko continues. So when you hold her hand and you feel like you close your eyes and you start feeling as if you were like showered in that red light again. You can feel there's some kind of a connection.
Okay. And do I see like anything like tactile? Like do I hear voices? Do I see something? Do I see the motel?
You don't see the motel, but you get a feeling that this person is deeply tied to the victim. And that connection is very important going forward because this person will be able to feel, even if she doesn't know, but she'll be able to feel things that were very emotional for Lily. So knowing that you have one of these special people in Lily's life near you will help you as a medium get to the bottom of this.
Okay, I suppose that I could somehow like share this information with. I mean, share the feelings and the information I get through the through this call sense with Janice. So like she feels she knows the same thing too. Like she understands that she's the person that could connect with Lily.
If you want to spend a reason, you could make her feel what you feel. She would feel a strange connection that she would not be able to understand, but she would feel it as a person, and she would know that it wasn't like happenstance.
Okay, well, maybe I won't spend a point right now. Okay. So I'm just going to relay what I've found out to Janice.
So Janice, he tells you that you're very important to Lily. He tells you that you have a deep connection with her and you will be very useful in the investigation because you're so close that in places of extreme emotion for Lily, you'll be critical in noticing these things.
Janice just kind of like glowers at you for like this long moment and then turns to Morton and is like, you're really getting your money's worth.
Sorry, Boiko, I had to steal your thunder there because I could kind of anticipate her response.
Yeah. I figured
Good, though.
that.
Okay, so the three of you, do you eat? You do get a coffee eventually, Morton.
Let's skip on to going to the bed and breakfast.
Okay. Eventually, the three of you do reconcile your differences and realize that time may be of utter importance. And you find the Lindsay Ides bed and breakfast. It's an older house in the way that it's like a two-story sort of manor house. And you see the sign out front. It looks like it was renovated, maybe 10 years ago. So it doesn't look horrible. It looks like it hasn't seen much use lately. And, the grass is a little tall. It's kind of cool, gray, and breezy, like Mike had mentioned earlier. So when you arrive, you see no cars outside. It's kind of all to itself, just a little outside of, a little away from other residential buildings. It is not too far from the river, just as a side note.
Just before we get to the motel, I would probably ask Janice and Morton about what they know about the pendant. Like, where did she get it from? Like, does it have any kind of special history?
Would you guys like to take that one, or should I?
Yeah, can I make a history test?
Go for it.
Let's see here. Where's my character sheet? So that would be, I'd make 2 rolls of Imagine and History, or?
Sure. Yeah, it could be, like if you knew about it because you had taken the time to like look into your family history, that'd be reason. But if it was like, hey, maybe we just had that conversation once, or I just asked her out of the blue where that necklace came from, or I was there, that'd be Imagine.
But yeah, well, it might be part of like your story. Like, you remember that your mother passed on the pendant to Lily, or you can also say that, for instance, you found it on a dead person, and
I've got a suggestion.
That would be a great connection.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. I failed my Imagine and History test, but I really like that idea of it was a gift I gave to her like many years ago after I stole it from a grave out in like Michigan or something like that.
And I think I've always wanted it for my wrestling costume.
Okay. Yeah, we can go with that. You wouldn't need to roll it if you gave it to her. That sounds fine to me. You could have made that up, or I could charge you a point or something, but we can just go with it. That's fine. So
okay, perfect.
You know the history because you gave it to her. You explain it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I be as vague as possible. I'm like, it was a gift from me. I don't tell him like where I got it or anything like that. I don't tell him about the mausoleum that I took a crowbar to get inside, and the old lady that I picked over.
Do you think I know about your grave digging or not?
I think you know, but I think you don't know the specifics.
Yeah, I wouldn't know any details, but I've sort of.
And I should mention that there are a couple of shovels, a pickaxe, and a crowbar in the back of my pickup truck.
Oh, I'm sitting very bolt upright in my seat.
Okay, I'll probably ask around, like where did you buy it from, or like did somebody give it to you? Did you like find it in a pawn shop or whatever? Like, where did you get the pendant?
I found it.
She's always finding things. She's she's got one of those I tell him she's got one of those metal detectors.
Like what? Did you find it on the beach, on the street? What? Did you find it in the attic in your house, or in the basement?
Well, the details aren't really that important. Just around.
I like that, Boiko. You're probably still asking her, and she's still being vague and not giving you a straight answer.
When Morden kind of comes to my defense, I kind of give him this appreciative look, like I didn't expect him to stand up for me or kind of try and hide my profession, or if you can call it a profession.
I'm embarrassed by my sister. I'm not going to have her admitting what she does.
But I probably figure out that it's something. It has to be something fishy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very good at covering up. I can't imagine Morton's very good at lying.
Oh, Morton. What do you mean about your system finding things out? How does she find things out?
Morton, what do you like? Janet's just cuts Jeremy off, and she has this very serious look on her face, and she's like, "What do you think she was doing out there by the river? It's a fair distance from her house."
Well, Morton said that she was she had been out of town for the last year.
No, I had been out of town. I was out of town. She stayed here. She was always She was always interested in strange jewelry.
Okay.
That's funny. You guys got quiet for all.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was like, oh, strange jewelry. I didn't expect it to be like the answer that everyone was like.
Well, I'll try to find to search my own knowledge bank for such a pendant that's that is glowing red. So can I try to make a paranormal investigator roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
In the meantime, the three of you have arrived outside the LNC Ides bed and breakfast. I kind of described it already. It doesn't look like anyone's necessarily here, though there is a light on in one of the second floor windows. Outside, Micah, go ahead and make a grave robber roll. Do you have that, or did you stick with perception?
I have perception. I also have breaking and entering.
Wow, yeah, you could really do both. Okay, so go and make a perception roll for me in this case.
Okay.
Caius, I really liked how he called you out on the drugs earlier, because your drug skill is awesome. You probably corrected him. You were like, it wasn't that, it was Oxycontin, duh.
Imagine or reason?
Let's see, what you are, oh, perception. Man, this one would be reason.
Okay. It will be a reason, or it won't be?
It will be, yes, reason.
Okay. Oh, I failed my reason. And I failed my perception. Gosh dang it.
Worth mentioning, you all have a 4 belief, so you all do have a success in your pocket if you need it.
I believe.
Okay. You want to use it?
Yes.
Okay, your perception. You are keenly aware that in this yard there are things have been buried.
Oh. I'm going to have to leave in about 5 minutes. I'm sorry about this, but I've got another game coming up.
No, you were fine.
Interesting. I kind of look at Morton and I kind of point at the ground. You see that? The grass has been disturbed. It's been all pulled up a bit.
Morton just buries his head in his hands. Can't you just leave it?
Are those drag marks? She starts like she pulls out she grabs the shovels from the back and hands one to Morton.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. What's happening
Wait.
here?
Yeah, Boiko doesn't know what's going on. It's great.
There might be somebody in the house, I say. I hide the shovel in a bush and run up and ring the bell.
There is no answer at the bell.
Janice picks up a handful of pebbles and I just chuck them at the window.
Okay.
The light.
Yeah.
You hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da as they patter along the side of the building. But it does not seem to create any person's attention inside that you can tell.
You see, no one's home. She starts digging.
Okay, I haven't helped you in this in 10, 15 years, but we need to be quick, I say, pushing her out of the way and digging. And pushing her out of the way and digging properly because she doesn't work out like me.
Wait. Why are we digging? Like, what did we see that warrants our attention again?
There were disturbances in the front lawn of this bed and breakfast, and Janice surmised that there might be something buried under there.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not obvious mounds, but Janice knows. She can see things like that. So she can tell that this yard's been disturbed. It's uneven and not naturally so. And the grass has regrown, but she would be pretty surprised if there weren't some things buried, maybe animals. You know, you're probably not thinking of for something weird, you know. But
Morton doesn't really believe any of that, but he's just so frustrated that he needs to work out somehow, and this is the only thing he can do to sort of work out.
Now, Caius, you haven't gotten any rolls this meeting, so please make a roll. Use your wrestling, because I'm sure that's how you got physically fit in the first place.
Wrestling and my wrestling successful and reason. I've dug before. 5. I had 2 successes.
Okay. Micah, were you helping? Or did you throw the rocks and come back and find him already having it unburied?
I tried to dig, but I got pushed out of the way, so I think I'm just kind of like just staring at him with my arms crossed, just waiting, kind of tapping my foot a bit.
If he wants help, I could help him, but that's doing just fine.
So do some physical exercise.
Let me move these away from the mic so people don't have to hear the paper slapping. So, Mort, you begin digging, and as you do, you unearth, maybe a foot of dirt, and underneath it, you when you hit something, at first you can see like liquid moving, like oozing. Not a lot. You catch it very quickly because you double succeeded. So,
could it be blood?
It is. Yeah. What you unearth is there's a body here, and as you begin to uncover it more and more, it looks strangely fresh, strangely alive, if not with missing all the vital signs.
Shit.
It's a middle-aged man. He looks, bald on top for the most part. He has some wrinkles around his eyes. His facial hair is a funny thing because, in a man's case in this way, he has a mustache, but not a beard, almost as if, whatever he had is what he had. And he's been buried. So this body, you're no expert. Micah might know, but if you buried a body even for a day, it should look pretty different.
Yep.
You look up at Janice and she's like, she's pulled out these latex gloves from her back pocket and she's like snapping them on.
Oh.
So he looks like just like Lily, like looks well preserved.
Yeah. So Caius has to go.
Yeah,
so,
sorry about this.
Okay.
You're A-okay. You're A-okay. So unfortunately, guys, this is probably where we should stop. It'd be the end of the first milestone. You guys would now have learned, obviously, the secrets of the pendant and the linkage of the haunted house. You at this point would realize there's something more going on if you didn't already, which would lead us to the next milestone of trying to lift the curse, because there's a curse inside. We just won't have the time to get to it.
Cheers for running that, and an interesting sort of introduction to the system. Nice playing with you guys, and hope to run into you in a game in the future.
Yes, thank you. I loved this group. This group dynamic was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I did as well.
I had a lot of fun too.
And thank you for helping save the game. You know, I'm glad we found more players.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
And thanks, everyone. And hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Me too. Bye.
And thank you, Boiko. I really appreciate having you. And Micah, I mean, you were the bedrock today. If you weren't here, none of this probably would have happened. So
thank you very much. Are you like on Facebook or something like that? Because I'll totally add you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I can. I'll send you both an email in the bottom. It's got, you know, the game site and stuff and all the game information. And of course, I'll add myself too. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be up to playing this again sometime. So
that'd be awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
You have my email, so yeah, you can mail me.
I'll send you guys an email in, you know, next couple hours when I get back home. Now that I'm occupied my brother's room, so I have to get out of this house eventually.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you much.
Bye.
Have a good convention.
Bye.
Okay, well, we had a little bit of a rocky start. We didn't finish, which, you know, it happens. We lost about an hour in the get-go, but we had a great group. It was really neat to see the dynamic of the different personalities working together. There was a couple points where I was going to fast forward some of the story to try to get us further. But at the same point, you know, it's about having fun. And I think at least two, if not all three of my players were more interested in the role play that they had. And that's awesome. So I'm very glad that I think they had a good time. It looked like the character creation was fun. That's always the goal, to try to make everything about a game fun. It's a lot of mechanics and stuff we didn't see, but, you know, one shot's hard to really capture a game. So I hope to probably release this if I can probably edit some of the long beginning that would be unnecessary. And of course, I want to say thank you again if anybody gets to see this, to everyone who's involved. So it was a fun, good experience. So thanks, and have a good BrigadeCon. Goodbye.